Okay, here's a quick video of my mini toilets, just an update. I found some of my older ones, like that one. Well, that's the only older one that I found, just a urinal. But yeah, so this was the first anything that I ever put an actual rim into. Don't know how well you can see that, but if it would focus, that'd be nice. Nope. Okay, well, there are 3 little holes in there that go down and make it flush. When I was trying to glaze it, they kind of closed up. Made that a couple years ago. Then I went on to this. For a while, I just made a bunch of decorative ones, like these 2, and then there were a bunch of others, but these are just the ones that I grabbed. I like this one because it's shaped like a toilet, unlike most of mine. They're shaped like weird blobs. This one was supposed to flush. It was one of the first ones that I put KDMC on, but a bubble went down in the Trapway, and so water can barely get through it. This one, the Trapway is really huge on the inside, but the opening down there it looks big, but on the inside it's really small, just behind the mouth. Right there, right where you can't see it, just barely above. It gets really small and then huge, so it doesn't let much water through, so it can't really siphon. Then there's this one, first one that I tried to put a rim on. Would have finished it, but the Trapway broke, so couldn't do that. Another just decorative one that I was trying to make. Didn't work out too well. Now this one was my best looking one. Wall hung. It's not my only wall hung anymore. But yeah, it was okay. Second urinal compared to the first one. The second one definitely looks a lot better. And that's when I started using the clay that I have now instead of the cheap Walmart clay. I actually got some decent clay that works better, and I was able to be more accurate when I was making them. This was the first thing that I actually made out of that clay, because it's a little harder, so it's easier to shape, and it'll hold its shape so that I don't have to like put supports in the Trapway. Now this was the second wall hung that I made, and it actually flushes, but it won't siphon out unless you have a straw coming out the back. I did that just because it's easier than making an actual siphonic Trapway. Here we go. I can get it to stand up. This is the third time I've tried recording this video, because the first time my phone died, then it just didn't save, and then this last time that I tried to, my phone actually ran out of storage, and then so, yeah, that's kind of some bad luck. This one's also made out of that clay. Don't worry, it's supposed to be cracked like that. It's everywhere. It's just what happened when the outer layer of the clay reacted to the sealing stuff that I put on it. Because I actually made this one out of slip that I made. I made a rough thing, and then I completely covered it in slip, let it harden, and then I carved the outside out of that. So it actually turned out okay. And then this was one that I was trying to make. I couldn't do it because I ran out of time. Wish I had better light. But yeah, what I did, I just carved a hole. Here, I'll just draw it out. I used this and carved all the way up, all the way back, and then just straight down out the bottom. But it wouldn't have been siphonic, and I ran out of time, and the base is so thin that if you just touch it, it falls down, so it's kind of pointless. Then I tried to remake it, and it's not done being made, so this one also has cracks in it, but don't worry, they're not hurting it. It looks like they are, but they're good, they're okay. This one I made the same way where I just dug the hole straight down, but instead of only digging the hole straight down, I dug in, I went forward a little bit on this one, and then I put a piece of clay over it so that the water would come out farther up, so that it would actually be siphonic instead of how I had it. Yeah, so you might notice that there's my biggest one's missing. Maybe I didn't say it in this video, but yeah, that one's being glazed right now. It's drying with my acrylic sealer stuff that I put on them. So yeah, those are the biggest ones. Or those aren't mine, but you know, they're just there for comparison. None of them really compare to this one, except for my new one. It's huge. Biggest one I've ever made, and heaviest. Here it is. It's about 6.5 inches. It is 6.5 inches tall, just a little bit over. Yeah, it's huge. Hopefully it'll be siphonic. I had to do something really weird with the Trapway, but hopefully it'll siphon out. I started drying it out yesterday. It's just been sitting here, but it still is wet as it was when I put it here. It's just like a little fingerprint thing there. Just getting rid of it. The Trapway is huge on the side. I actually used, these are the tools that I usually use to make one. I use one of these for the Trapways. I'll just take it and scoop it out, you know, and it makes a good Trapway. It's easy to use, and then I'll go to the bottom and then just stick it in and spin it, and there you go. You have a Trapway. Then you just cover that side up with clay, and you're done. But for this one, I had to use an ice cream scoop, so the Trapway is a lot bigger. Yeah. Been saying that a lot. Yeah. Kind of weird. Okay. But, so, you can see that. Usually I'll use one of these for finer details to scrape away, or sometimes even this. And then I'll use this knife, like for this. I took it and just sliced off the top to give it nice straight lines. And on the side, just went around, you know. But I would kind of be sitting here for a long time if I took this all the way around, so I used this to shape it. Giant knife. Just went across the top, and it's still not done, so I still have to make it smooth. Like with the slip, this was really uneven. The top of it, you can see now it's almost straight, but it was really bumpy. So I covered it up with slip, and then I took a sander and just sanded it down, and it was nice and flat. So I still have to do that for this one. Hold on, I'm gonna show you the bottom of it. It's extremely heavy. Hold on, give me a minute. It's completely solid, so that's why it's so heavy. It's like 20 pounds. And while I'm holding my phone and trying to flip it over while it's sticking to the paper, that'd be kind of hard, so I just decided to put my phone down. But you can see that all the water comes out of the side from a little hole instead of the entire outlet thing. I did that because since I used this giant ice cream scoop, I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to siphon out, so I did a really, really weird design for the Trapway. I'll probably put in some pictures of it, because I was taking pictures the whole time. But, yeah. I wasn't planning on making this video today, but I did, so here it is. I'll just trace out what the trapway looked like really quick. Give me a minute to flip it back over. It has okay shape to it. It doesn't look bad like most of them where it just goes straight down. It actually has a small curve. But yeah, I took the ice cream scoop, and down here is about where the trapway is, the bottom of the trapway. I went all the way up to here, then I went back, then went down, then forward, then back at an angle, then down again, or forward again, and then all the trapway is from about this far on the toilet over this way, because I didn't want the trapway to be too big, because since there are no rim jets or a siphon jet, it wouldn't be able to siphon out with a huge trapway. So I had to make it really small. But it also shouldn't restrict any water from getting through, so it'll still have a fast siphon, hopefully. But all the water comes out of that hole in the side just because the entire trapway is so huge, and I put so many bends in it like that, like back, then down, then forwards, and back again, then forward again, because that should slow down the water so that when it gets to that tiny hole, it's all bunched up and it can easily be taken out. Like with this one, that's why you have to use a straw, because I just made the trapway. If you can see it, it just went up to here, then down, and then straight out the back. So unless you had a lot of water, whoops, see, that one is horrible. So unless you had a lot of water going into it, I mean, I've made it siphon out without a straw. It's just you have to put in a ton of water. It's easier when you have a straw coming out the back of it. So hopefully there's going to be a video within the next few days after it dries and I get it painted and everything. If you have any suggestions for a type that I should try to make, like I will be trying a forward trap and all that, but if there's any specific type, like anything you want to see, and I could probably put a rim and a siphon jet on this easily. It was just the first one that I made this size, so I didn't want to. I just wanted to get it done. It took me from about 12 to 6 to do this, and putting the rim on probably would have been another hour, and adding down a channel down to here to go in for a siphon jet, that probably would have been another hour. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, just like put them down in the comments. It's decently large, not compared to a full-size toilet, of course, but you know, baby toilet, my toilet. Yeah, well, I guess this is it for now. I'm going to make another one. That'll probably be the next video. Another one of these. Because I've been like everywhere there is to film around where I live. So there aren't many toilets that I can film while I'm in this state. So it'll probably mostly be turning into me making toilets. And I'm planning on making one by the end of the summer of 2015 that's the size of the baby Devoro toilet. So that'll hopefully be by the end of next summer. But like I said, yeah, if you have any suggestions, just put them in the comments. Or anything you want to see. Like, I'll be flushing all these that can be flushed within the next day or so. So they won't be uploaded that soon, probably, because I'm kind of lazy when it comes to uploading. But yeah, so see ya.